Greetings. Before we officially start the show, I'd like to commend you on what a bold move you've made by choosing to consume this podcast. Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Is it going to be weird? Well, thankfully, the answer to all three of those questions is yes. Anyway, there's probably going to be some choice language at some point, so don't say that I didn't warn you. Enjoy the show.
And now, coming to you live from the tri-state area and San Francisco, California, it's the best part of Wednesday, Waffle Box, with your hosts, Mike Fish and Kush Hayes.
Welcome to Waffle Box, the podcast where we talk about anything, everything, and nothing all at the same time. Coming up on episode 108, Burger King wants you to have all the cheese. One burglar's ego took a big dent this past week. We're talking outlaws in this week's movie review and much, much more. I am Mike Fish and I am joined as always by the main man in San Fran. It's Mr. Kush Hayes. Kush, how you doing, buddy?
What's good, y'all? Kush Hayes coming to you from the future home of Super Bowl 60. It's the Waffle Box, the original Waffle Box. You accept no substitution because it is the best part of Wednesdays. We are the People's Podcast. We do this because we love you. You love us because we do this. Lathan, what's good in the booth, son?
Well, Mike, I know you aren't a big fan of air conditioning, but over the past week, thanks to this heat wave, me and my AC unit have been becoming very close friends. Thankfully, it's been very happy for me to be the big spoon at night.
Yeah, it's been pretty well.
Right.
I mean, in the northeast and down south, you seem to have got away with the old heat wave. You're still loving life right now in like the 50s, 60s, right?
We actually have a beautiful day out today. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's a little chilly this morning, but that's going to burn off before noon. And boy, it'll be hot today in San Fran. But yes, I have my two side bitches with me, Fan A and Fan B, and they are both keeping me very, very, very relaxed.
Beautiful. We seem to be having like a little dip. Like one day it'll be like super, super hot, and then out of nowhere, like big torrential downpour. Like yesterday, I was driving down the FDR, which is a highway in New York City, and that it was flooded within like 5 minutes of how hard this rain was coming down.
Wow.
And then this rain stops, and you're like, oh, it's a little bit cooler now. And then like 2 minutes later, it's boom, 100 degrees humidity. Oh, fuck's sake. It just doesn't let off at all. It's horrendous.
East Coast sounds awful, dude. Right? Flash floods, heat waves. You get tornadoes or hurricanes. I forget. I guess it depends on what part of the East Coast you're on. But yeah, you seem to get everything but the earthquakes. I will keep the earthquakes, and you can have the rest of the bullshit.
What's the
and the wildfires? We get earthquakes and wildfires.
Which one's just a really strong wind? Which one's a twirly one? Tornado's a twirly one, right?
Hurricane is a tropical storm, but sometimes there's a hurricane up in New York.
Well, yeah, we may, when it does, we normally just get the really, 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 really strong winds, and like you'll wake up the next day and there's like trees implanted into people's homes and stuff like that. That's always fun. Touch wood. So far, this one's been okay.
Okay, knock on wood. Fingers crossed.
But yeah, how you been, buddy, in the last 7 days?
Dude, I was at the grocery store yesterday just to pick up nothing crazy, 2 items. So you go to the 15 items or less express lane, and once you know, some asshole, I think he's got about the right number, but he is talking the cashier's head off and questioning, disputing every price that gets displayed on the screen, to the point where once we're finally done, and like there's only one dude in front of me, behind him. All right, and we're just waiting and waiting and waiting, and finally the guy has all his orders. Then he stands off to the side and starts auditing his goddamn receipt, just like. And when the gentleman in front of me is done, he then interrupts my transaction and goes, "You'll know it says here, but it should be this." I'm usually pretty patient, dude, but even I had to say through my fucking face mask, like, what the fuck? Which disrupted the guy in front of me and made a scene. But still, it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Your time is up.
I always get caught behind. Like, I'm generally, whenever I go to the grocery store, it's pretty much just grab one item and then a case of beer. That's pretty much why I go. So I'm just like in and out. I'd like to be in and out, and then I
Right.
normally get stuck behind, like, not to discriminate, but I normally get stuck behind the old woman who, same thing, is like, oh, on the receipt here it says it's $1.20, but I believe, isn't it supposed to be on sale? It's supposed to be $1.15, and it's like you're causing this whole 10-minute argument over 5 fucking cents. Like, fuck off. Get out of my life. Pet peeve of mine. Funny enough, that's a good. We didn't even talk about that. You did that your own. Our trapdoor segment today is pet peeves, so we'll be able to get our frustrations out later. Before we dive in, just a little bit of venting, a little bit of therapy session. Obviously, by the time this episode comes out, I will be back in New Jersey. But as we're recording this is a travel day for me, and I'm after recording this, I'm going to the airport, and I don't know if you're the same, Kush, but I have incredible major pre-flight anxieties. I don't know if you have the same thing, but the whole thing, I love being on the plane. I love flying. It's fun. It's like, oh, look at the clouds. Look at me. I'm so high. It's so much fun. And it's relaxing. Complimentary beers when you're doing the transatlantic flights, and you can sleep whenever you want. You can whatever. It's you're living a life of luxury. But that pre-bit where, I'm just like making sure I've got everything packed, make sure I've got all my charges. Oh, what's this traffic like? Can I go to the airport? And I need to make sure I'm getting there like 3 hours before. Oh, and then once I get to the airport, oh, which gate do I go to check my luggage? Oh, security, which gate is which? Because in Newark there's like two securities on one on either side. So which one's going to be the busiest? And then you go to security, and then even though because I packed my own bags, I know I have nothing illegal. I don't own a gun, but I'm like, and I don't buy drugs. But all of a sudden, as soon as it's about to go into that security thing, I'm like, oh my god, what if there's guns and drugs suddenly in my bag? Oh my god! And it's and then you have to wait nervously for your bag to come back out. So, oh my god! And then I can relax. But that whole build up, oh my god, it's just, my mind is going nuts right now.
I get most of that. I get most of that actually. So like packing the bag, sure, but I've simplified it to like, okay, I'm going to take some things with me. I'm not going to take everything though. Well, obviously not going to take everything, Kush. What I mean by that is I'm actually going to abandon stuff when I leave my destination again. Like I'll bring like 4 or 5 t-shirts I've only purchased for this trip and nothing more. And when I'm done with them and my socks and the dirty undies are not coming with me. Also saves on the cost of laundry. Okay. But yeah, I've actually, while there was no drugs on me, or actually, I take that back. Twice in my life, I've found a foo bar in my bag. Once going on a business trip, I thought I had purposely left my utility knife behind. I was like, I'm just going on this little trip to Arizona. Like I'm literally just flying down there. I'm tearing down this show, and then I'm driving back. But I'm pretty sure I'm not going to need this, so I will leave this behind. Also, I'm a Boy Scout, so guess what? I neglected the other utility knife that I keep in my bag as a spare.
How many fucking knives do you need?
A lot, actually. Especially in this
in case if I stab 10 people, then this is going to be blunt. But I've got my backup. Where's that? Stab. Keep stabbing.
It's like that sometimes. It's actually, anyways. Came back from Portland one time. Prohibition is over in this timeline, but
fuck.
Yeah, still disappointed in myself that I neglected. I left a joint and a pre-roll in my bag, and TSA did not give a shit. But I was like,
oh,
we literally crossed state lines, which is still a federal crime. Like,
yes.
That could have ended stupidly if I caught a guy on the wrong day. So I do deal with things like that. But also, once I get to the airport, we start pouring the cocktails, son. I do not give a shit if it's 5:55 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon.
I have to say, once you pass security, time means nothing. It doesn't matter what time it is. It's drinks o'clock. Once you're about to board a plane, you're on vacation, baby.
And once we get on the plane, we're finally fine. I don't do the check bag. Anything I can't carry on my person doesn't come with me. Okay, so we don't go through the hassle of like, oh my god, I landed in Albuquerque. My bag is in New Jersey. How did that happen? We don't deal with any of that. But yeah, once we get on the plane, my biggest concern these days, though, because it has happened to me a few times now, the plane flight gets canceled for reasons.
I've had that
And then you're like,
once.
I've only had it happen to me once too. Still unpleasant, messed up my entire itinerary.
Yeah, when it happened to me, I didn't find out my flight got cancelled until I got to the airport and scanned my passport to get my thing, and it was like, "There's no flights found." It's like, that's worrisome. So I had to go to a person, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that flight got cancelled." It's like, "Oh," and then they gave me options of other flights I could take, and then the earliest flight I could take to get me back to London was a flight that was in 5 hours time, but instead of going directly from New York to London, I had to go from New York to Chicago and then sit in Chicago for 4 hours and then fly from Chicago to London. And so it worked out. My original time of landing in London, I was further away from where I started. I was in Chicago. I was like, what the? So I got a longer flight and I'm already late. Like, it was just miserable.
Yeah,
but before we end up, right? This is a funny story. This is a funny story.
Break it down.
So, when you go through security and you have to stand in that body scanner thing and do the whole,
I do.
Right. As I stepped out, I guess, my crotchal region was hot, I guess, because I've got a and so this security guard was like, what's going on here, right? And so, but I didn't think anything of it. So he was like, come here, I need to like pat you down and blah 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 blah. And then I'm not, yeah, sure, whatever, do your job. I know I've got nothing on me, so yeah, do your thing. And then eventually he goes, oh, do you mind doing it here, or do you want to go into a private room? I was like, oh no,
I see where you're going with that.
Just do it here. Like, I don't care, just get it over and done with. He goes, okay, and he starts putting these gloves on, and I was, wait, what are you doing?
No, they're not doing that.
But thankfully, it was just, I guess, gloves for his, and he just had to really go strong with the pat down, put hands in pockets and things like that. And he was like, oh, you're fine. I was like, oh, But yeah, as soon as those rubber gloves came out, I started sweating. Like, I don't even know your name.
7 out of 10 times
when
I go through TSA, I get pulled aside because something resembling bomb residue is on my jeans, which I don't. But almost every time this happens, in fact, it's so weird that one time, again, like I just said, sometimes I just buy clothes specifically for the trip. Brand new pair of jeans, wearing them in that line for the very first time since I purchased them. And they're like, yeah, there's something on your knee there, dude. What is that? And they're like, all right, I guess it's nothing, but that was weird. And I was like, yeah, man, that was weird because these were brand new jeans, sir. So,
well, I'm sure anyone would say that. Well, no, I bought them with the cocaine in the pocket. I don't know where it came from.
I one time exiting Portland, it was 6 a.m, catching that early morning flight. There's surprisingly no line. Congratulations, Portland. You're really good with your TSA.
No one wants
didn't
to
have to go through
Portland.
Didn't have to go through the whole body scanner, but just went through a regular metal detector. So I thought I'd be like, yeah, hey, we got no weapons on us. And the guy with the M16 went, there's no dancing through security, sir. Please go back. And it's like,
there is no joy here in the TSA. Thank you very much. Take that smile off your face.
You got it, G.I. Joe. My bad. I thought I was making your job easier, but I apparently flashing my gut offended you. Touche, sir.
Sexual harassment.
It's sexual, like a lady.
Speaking of sexual harassment, that brings us nicely to our first story.
So this is why we're a fucking great team.
When I say nicely. Yeah. So, Lathan, if you could hit the button, let's kick into this week's top stories.
It's now time for this week's top stories.
Now, this is the bad thing about pre-recording things before trips and things like that. So this is a top story now, but by the time this comes out, people will be like, what are you talking about that for? That happened. That was like so last week.
So 2008.
Yeah, it's just 2000 and late. Yeah, this first story. Now, normally disclaimer. Obviously, I've said this many times. Here on Waffle Box, try to keep things light and breezy. But this story it came about, and it just blew my fucking mind. There's nothing funny about it, so sit back and relax. But it was one of those, when sometimes that you read a story and you're like, even though I have a very, very, very small platform, when sometimes you get that urge, if I don't say something about this shitty situation, I would feel weird. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah.
So we're going to keep it brief. We're going to be brief. But Italy, what the
Italia.
fuck? Let's just say that. So
I think I know where you're going with this. Is this the 10-second rule?
Yes. So if you don't know what this is, so there's a lot of people on social media as we're recording this who aren't very happy, which is understandable. So here's a story. So in April of 2022, this 17-year-old student at a Rome high school said that she was walking up a staircase to her class, and then she felt her trousers, or her pants in America, her trousers fall down, and a hand touching her buttocks and grabbing her underwear, to which she turns around, and it's a 66-year-old caretaker at the school. Now, you're thinking, what the fuck? This guy's a piece of shit. He needs to be sent to prison. Well,
at least fired.
At least fired. So this goes to court, to which, during the court case, this 66-year-old caretaker who touched he removed clothing from a 17-year-old student and groped her butt. In court, he admitted it. He said, yeah, I did that. But, it was just a joke. But, I did it. So you're like, wow, okay, that's a pretty shitty excuse. But he admitted it. Surely this is closed, nice and dry. We can be out by lunch. And this guy's going to be paying for his crimes. Well, so a Rome public prosecutor who asked for a 3.5-year prison sentence.
Wow.
Which is like, I would probably give him more than that, but, whatever. As long as he's behind bars and out of the school and off the streets. But the caretaker, after admitting that he did this, was acquitted of the sexual harassment charges, and the sexual assault charges, I should say, because the judge said that what he did, quote, does not constitute a crime because it lasted less than 10 seconds.
That's amazing.
What?
Frightfully, disturbingly, negatively amazing.
Like,
yeah, I'm at a loss for words. Big fan of the No Means No. And by the way, why is any school staff member groping children for any amount of time? No bueno.
Even if, let's...
Negative wag of the finger, sir.
Even if, let's play devil's advocate here, let's just say that this guy did 100% believe, like, oh, I'm not doing this for sexual gratification. I'm just doing this because it's going to be funny. What a laugh.
Yeah, I believe that. But
it's still a fucked up thing to do. It's not a funny joke.
Hella wrong. Hella wrong. Wrong. Only wrong.
Like, he even went to
and it's a child.
He pulled her pants down as well. Like, what the fuck? And the judge was like, yeah.
And the judge is like, I like doing that shit too. I do it for about 8 seconds. I'm not a pig, but I get my fun in and then I go. That's what the judge said in Italian.
Well, again, not to make too light of this, but what does this open the door? Like, so if you go in and break into someone's house, as long as you're out before 10 seconds, you're good? Like, how does that work?
That's a great debate.
It's a fucking...
That's Mike, you might actually have a great argument here. I'm thinking Italian crime spree. I think we could do it. I think we could do it in 9 seconds. In and out. Just grab what's in the fucking hallway. Just boom, boom, boom.
I mean, if anything, this is going to by the Roman judicial system. I think as long as you rob the home of a woman, you're good. Because apparently they don't give a shit about women.
Can't be a man. You're right. You're right about that. You're right about that.
Whoa, you crossed the line. You don't steal from a man. That's fucked up. And in this house.
I know. Yeah, the whole thing is very upsetting, and thank God bless America with wrong hand.
Yeah.
I know I usually chime in with my attempt at a funny little quip, but I think I'm going to give this one a wide berth.
Yeah, it's probably a smart decision.
Okay. Yeah, no, smart. The AI is really good on this one today.
They're taking over. They're taking over. Right. Let's move on. Some lighter affair. Burger King. Are you a fan of Burger King?
Not so much these days.
No,
I also know what this story is. So.
Their fries suck. Their fries
are inferior to McDonald's, but are still better than In-N-Out. There, I said it.
No. Why would you say something so controversial yet so brave? As the saying goes. But no, so Thailand, Burger King in Thailand has introduced a new burger on its menu. And it's called the meatless burger. Now, you're probably thinking, because of the wave sweeping the nation over here, you probably think, a meatless burger. So it's kind of like, what is it? One of those impossible burgers. So it's this burger made of vegetables, but it actually tastes like a burger and stuff like that. No. So this meatless burger is packed with not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, 20 slices of American cheese. And that's it. That is literally not even like some lettuce.
2 buns.
Oh, yeah. There's two.
No lettuce. I don't think there's like ketchup or mustard
on
it either.
It's like literally cheese.
Yeah. What the fuck is wrong with you, Thailand?
Again, like, why 20 as well? That's because if you see a picture, there's gonna be a picture on the thumbnail of this podcast. So if you're listening on whatever, you're gonna, if it's the video version or the audio version, you're gonna see a picture of it. It's fucking like huge. This is so apparently people of Thailand who can buy this, right? So it's currently at discount price of 109 Thai baht, which works out roughly around about $3.16, compared to a normal burger price, which is 380 baht or $11. But even Thai, so apparently, like in Thailand, cheese is like huge. Like Thai people fucking love cheese, right?
Yeah, people in Idaho and Milwaukee would be like, I agree. You're right.
In Green Bay, I can wear it as a hat. No, but even them who love cheese, majority of them are saying in the story they're buying it and then taking it home and removing much of the cheese and like storing it and be like, right, that'll be my lunch for the next couple of days. I'll have like some cheese sandwiches for the rest of the week.
Okay, so that's actually smart.
Yeah,
that's pretty. It's probably cheaper than going to whatever their equivalent of the Safeway is out there. Yeah, and getting the Kraft block. Yeah, dude, I've seen the memes of this. It's just I'm repelled and nauseated just talking about it. But like it's not even like I wouldn't expect them to count out 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 slices. Like they're literally just grabbing chunks of slices of cheese and slapping it on the thing. And if you're lucky, I've seen some TikTok videos. If you're lucky, maybe it's melted. But at the same time, it's like it's a brick of cheese.
A block of cheese, basically.
Brick. It's a whole lot of goddamn cheese and a bun. And like, I don't know about you, dog. Like, you eat too much cheese, you're having a bad next day. All right. There's some pushing.
Isn't it also bad for like cholesterol and shit like that? Like it was
probably.
But yeah, it's definitely bad for your bowels. It's definitely like that's gonna plug that shit up.
I mean, you have to imagine. So let's just be a little closed mind here. It's Thailand, so they're probably not going to Burger King or McDonald's every goddamn day like an American, and probably not ordering 2 burgers for each hand like an American. So this is probably like a once a week thing, once a month thing. This is birthdays and whatever Mardi Gras they celebrate out there. Still fucking disgusting. And it's just cheese. That's the
Just
craziest thing about it. It's not
literally.
like it's not like eel balls and buck eyeballs. Like it's literally just it's just a brick of cheese.
It's not even a little bit of salad just to make it a little bit easier to eat. It's just a block of
Salad would make some
cheese
sense.
in bread.
I'm a guy
It's
who's
too
like,
much.
yeah, we leave the tomatoes, no pickles. I don't want that goddamn
I don't help there.
slice of
This
lettuce.
healthy shit. Get that out of my face.
Ugh.
I just want a cholesterol in a bun. Give me a heart attack.
Oh my
Stat.
god. So nasty.
Nasty.
You nasty boy.
Oh, you so nasty. Final top story this week. Hilarious. This is my favorite news story, possibly of the year. So, a man in Atlanta attempted to rob a nail salon.
Oh, I saw this too.
And let's just say it did not go to plan. So basically, what did he ran in and he did the trick of like having a pointy object under his jacket, so he didn't show that he had a gun.
Oh, I remember him showing the gun, but still.
Oh, did he?
Like,
Oh,
I want to say he showed the gun, which made things even less respectful. Like they only showed him more disrespect with that gun. They're like, really? You walked in here with
the
that?
video I saw that I couldn't see it clearly, and the story that I got this was they described it as his hand was in a bag, as if he was holding a weapon.
Okay, okay.
But he stormed into this nail salon a couple of Mondays back now, demanding money, and he even shouted, "Everyone got down! Give me all your money!" Only in an American accent, not in that. And then he must have had this existential crisis because he was like, wait, did they hear me? Is this a dream? Because if you see the video, literally no fucker even flinches. They just carry on about their day, getting their nails done. And then eventually one person, yeah. And then eventually one person gets up, one of the nail techs, I guess, calmly walks past him and opens the door as if to say, yeah, can you get out, mate? You're kind of bringing down the vibe. And then the salon owner, the phone rings. He walks past the guy with the gun, answers the phone. Hey, do you want to book an appointment? Hey, like they just carry on with business as usual while this guy is just looking around as if, is anyone going to get me the money? Hello? Fucking hilarious. And then a customer, she got out and started making a phone call or something. And he snatched her phone as she went to walk outside. But then eventually he was just like, well, I guess this isn't working. And he just calmly left the store. And I'm sure he went home and cried himself to sleep.
Yeah, dude, if I failed that hard at a robbery, I don't think I could go to the next location and try again. I'd be like, what I do? There'd be a lot of just staring at the mirror and going like, what did I do wrong? Like, this also is a fascinating declaration of what crime is like in the United States. Like this place has clearly been robbed before, and these folks are just like, yeah, all right, man, it's just Tuesday.
Sick of this shit. Fuck off.
Who are you? You're not the guy who robs this normally on Tuesday. Fuck off, man. You're supposed to be here tomorrow on Wednesday, and I don't have an appointment on Wednesday. Get the fuck out of here. There's
we're fully booked.
Also great...
I haven't got time for your shit. Come on.
There's a great surveillance footage of a robbery gone wrong again. I want to say it was a T-Mobile store, cell phone store, Mexican neighborhood. Don't know if it's Los Angeles or Texas or in actual literal Mexico, but guy runs in with a gun. Everyone just calmly gets up, walks out, locks him in the store, and then he's just like, oh no. Oh, no. And like he's like throwing chairs at the window. The window's not breaking, it's all barred up. He's like, he starts pleading like, please, lady, let me out of here. I can't go to jail, please.
I'll give you some money.
Some money for my kid.
Oh, dear. So Lesser Barrow, who was a regular customer who was in the salon at the time of the attempted robbery, told Wagga, W-A-G-A, I guess it's the local news, Wagga, that the owner was indeed scared of the would-be robber, but he didn't react because he didn't want the customers to worry. What a badass.
Okay.
The owner said, customers come first, so that was my reaction, to calm everyone down and keep everyone relaxed. What a don.
Mission accomplished.
What a fucking don.
I can totally relate to
Yeah.
this guy's plight.
Well, good
If
for
I
you.
had $1 for every time I came in wielding an erect object under a coat whilst a woman ignored me, I'd be a very, very rich man.
Oh, Lathan. Oh, Lathan, you cheeky little scamp.
And you're going to get a lawsuit in Italy doing that, son.
Ah, but you'll be...
Of course, the charges will be dropped.
Yeah, you'll be fine, though.
So go mock yourself out.
Probably literally. Like Louis C.K. Just knock yourself out. Maybe that's an English term where you knock one. Anyway, so yeah, poor guy. And unfortunately, what's really bad is he's going to pay the time because he's now like under, they've got a warrant out for his arrests.
Oh, did they arrest him?
As of reading this, I don't think so, but I'm sure they'll get him. But he didn't even get the joy that what they say: if you do the crime, do the time. He didn't even get to he didn't even get anything. It's like, fuck, I didn't get any money. I didn't get any short-term joy, and now I'm going to be arrested.
Dude.
Ugh.
Knowing that guy's luck, he will get arrested. Handcuffs will be put on his wrists. They will take him downtown. They will show him in front of the entire Gen Pop, and then they will just punish him by playing the cell phone or the surveillance footage, at least for an hour and a half, and then they will
on repeat
take him back home, and that's it. Like, don't ever do that shit again. Get out of here. And they smack him on the butt, which will apparently be charged in Italy and then dropped again.
Oh, Italy, the recurring joke. But yeah, so that's funny. Bless his little soul. What an idiot. What an idiot. Unless you're going to be intimidating, think twice about committing a crime. Because that's why I'm not a criminal. Like, seriously, if I walked in, I was like, give me your money, you're going to be like, fuck off, mate. I wouldn't even use you as a toothpick. Get out. And I don't have to go, oh, I'm sorry.
Damn. Stone cold Mike Fish. Stone cold.
There you go. But so he didn't achieve anything, but I'll tell you what, some other people did. And they've got a certificate to show for it. And it's now time for this week's Dumb World Record of the Week.
Why?
Why? Why would I? Why? Why?
Why? Why? Why? Why? Why would you want to do that?
All right, this week's Dumb World Record is a pretty dumb one, if you ask me, because we've done a couple of these in the past where someone gets a world record because of the size, the quantity of their collection. Well, not size of their collection. This one comes to us from Ontario, Canada, where a woman's quote unusual collection has earned her a Guinness World Record when the organization confirmed that she owns the most packaged toothbrushes. Yep. Kelly Hardy.
You find these stories, Mike Fish. Jesus Christ.
Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's easy. Kelly Hardy of Mississauga, Ontario, said she has a collection of 1,618 individually packaged toothbrushes. And she said her collection began when she was 12 years old and she found an unusual toothbrush with a built-in floss dispenser. I mean,
ooh,
you're not going to turn that shit.
They don't even make those anymore. That is pretty fancy do.
She said, quote, I was like, that's so interesting. That toothbrush. She was a pretty wild 12-year-old. I bet she went to many parties when she went to high school.
There was a lot of oral at those parties. Oh, a joke about a minor. Oh.
But at the time when she saw this interesting toothbrush with a built-in floss dispenser, I never bought it at the first time I saw it. But I just kept thinking about it for a few weeks. Really? You're 12 years old, and this was playing on your mind for weeks. That fucking toothbrush was banging. Oh my god. And then eventually she just said to herself, I need that toothbrush. Kelly Hardy told CTV News that her collection now features 1,618 different toothbrushes, including brushes featuring characters from The Simpsons and Star Wars. She said, quote, I still love toothbrushes. I like the hunt.
This bitch better have perfect teeth. Like, she better have like perfect teeth.
They're pre-packaged. They're already packed. So obviously they're like my Funko Pop. She hasn't taken them out of the package. So maybe she might have fucked up teeth. Because every time she tries to buy a toothbrush, because, oh my God, my teeth were getting fucked up and my breath smells. I need to buy a toothbrush to brush my teeth. And then she buys it and she's like, well, this is a good one. And she never takes it out of the packet.
I would hope she would at least buy 2 of them. I mean, toothbrushes are still not necessarily expensive. They're like, I don't know, $3 now, $4. But
it's one of those, I'm not to be like too braggadocious about my money,
toothbrushes.
But a toothbrush is one of those items where, you know, I'm not looking at the price. I'm just like, I need a toothbrush.
Right.
Toothbrush required. But I'm not.
There you go.
So I'm fingers crossed.
Going back to our
you guys can
travels,
make fun of this woman all you want, but the next
hotels-
time she has a sleepover and 1,618 people forget their toothbrushes, then she's going to look like quite the host.
That is true. I guess that is true.
I don't see her accommodating any of those people.
He doesn't have 1,618 friends.
No, who does? Going back to travel, most major hotels will actually provide you with a toothbrush and toothpaste as part of the amenities.
Oh, and that little sealed bag with like the mini toothbrush and the mini toothpaste and things like that.
Yeah.
Love that shit. Love that shit.
So that's, again, we pack only what you need, guys. Most of the shit, they do have pharmacies in the UK. You may or may not be aware of, Mike Fish, as they do in Holland when I go there myself in August. I'm just going to buy some toothpaste and some deodorant over there.
But now, talking about packing and traveling again, now the anxiety is going back again, because I was going to take my toothbrush that I use on a regular basis. I was just going to put that in a bag and put it in my luggage.
Well, I would say unpack that.
But it is one of those, like, where you push a button and the head goes to get really good clean.
It's a fancy one. Yeah.
So now, all of a sudden, I'm just worried about, something happens and that gets activated, and then I hear like a coming from my luggage. And best case scenario, they think it's a vibrator. Worst case scenario, they think it's a device and they blow up my luggage. Shit.
I don't see how either of those is the best case scenario. If they literally go, excuse me, Mr. Fish, we think your vibrator's going off in your suitcase here. It couldn't possibly be an electronic toothbrush. It's clearly your vibrator that you put in your butt because you like that, you like butt stuff.
Yeah, I'm a 37.
They make that announcement very loudly to everybody.
I'm a 37.
I think that might be worse than the bomb.
Who's been married for long enough? Like, I have no shame. I don't give a shit.
Damn.
As long as my luggage doesn't get blown up, they could announce to the world that I have a vibrator in my bag. I don't care. I don't give a shit.
Mike's a freak. Also, Mike has a vibrator in his bag.
And I like to, and it cleans my teeth. That'd be a good like double whammy, right? Because sometimes in sex stores you get like the really long dildo, like I believe they're for double-ended purposes, so twice the fun. Okay. Maybe what if like one that's kind of long enough so you can insert one end in your joy hole and the other end is a toothbrush.
I'm listening.
So you could like brush your teeth whilst getting a little bit of.
That is a lot of silicone, man. I feel like that's gonna be like $150 purchase. And by the way, it's the same. No two people can get the same item. I think you and I are just a little bit. One of us is taller than the other, Mike Fish. So one of us would have to get like a longer one. Not that I would buy any of this at all, but still. But
I mean, for the person on the go, so I kind of want to have an orgasm.
Then you got again,
but I'm
we're
gonna
getting
be
back
late
to
for
room in the
work,
suitcase.
so I can vibrate myself whilst doing my teeth. Multitask.
That's going to be an interesting bus ride.
Oh, who brushes their teeth on the bus? Those are the
You'd be
worst
surprised,
kinds of people.
motherfucker. The same motherfuckers who are clipping their toenails and fingernails. Ew.
You know what? I've never seen that.
Fucking cunts. Fucking cunts, Mike Fish. I hope you never do. But they're there.
Motherfuckers. More pet peeves. Oh my god, we're really rolling since this is trapdoor segment coming up in the second half, which is coming up very shortly. So I guess, yes, shout out to Kelly for having her 1,618 different package toothbrushes. Well done, I guess. But yeah, still to come, we're going to be talking about The Outlaws on Netflix. Is it Netflix? It's on Netflix, right? I think
it's Netflix.
It is Netflix. Trapdoor segment, feel good segment, all that good stuff. Still coming up after the break, but we will be shortly back. There we go. After this quick break.
I don't wanna grow up. I'm a Toys R Us kid. They got a million toys at Toys R Us that I can play with. I don't wanna grow up.
I'm a Toys R Us kid.
They got the best for so much less.
You'll really flip your lid.
From bikes to trains to video games. It's the biggest toy store there is. Gee whiz. I don't wanna grow up, 'cause baby, if I did, I couldn't be a Toys R Us kid.
Once a Toys R Us kid,
always a Toys R Us kid.
It's now time for the middle of the show quiz.
Hey, welcome back to Waffle episode 108. Still to come, we talk about The Outlaws movie starring Pierce Brosnan on Netflix, and much, much more. But it is the middle of the show, so it's now the perfect time, if you ask me, quite frankly, for the middle of the show quiz. As always, 5 questions to Mr. Kush Hayes. Aim of the game is to get 5 out of 5. If not, best 3 out of 5 for the technical win. This week's quiz, we're going to go back, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper into IMDb's top 250 TV shows.
Okay. I like this game.
So what we do here is I delve through IMDb's top 250 of TV shows. I give Kush Hayes a starting point. I tell him a show and where it's positioned in there, and then we work our way in. So then I give him another TV show, and he has to guess whether it's higher or lower on the list. And then the second one, whether it's higher or lower than the first one, and so on and so forth. Nice and simple. Are you ready, Mr. Hayes?
I'm ready, Mr. Fish.
Well, Mr. Producer Lathan, if we could get some tense music, let's start the quiz. Okay, so your starting point is a Netflix documentary series, Making a Murderer. Did you ever watch Making a Murderer?
No, I don't think I have.
It's been out a while. It's very good. Just check it out. It's very disturbing.
They got a bunch of murder docs on there, though. I think they all bleed in together. Like, we could be talking about the Dahmer series and be like,
very not done at that. Anyway, so yeah, Making a Murderer then. So good luck with this then. I guess this is 167th on the list. 167. So this is the kind of range we're in this week. So your first TV show is Boardwalk Empire. Is Boardwalk Empire higher than 167 or lower than 167?
Never seen the series. However, before Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul was a thing, this was the show that was in the conversation of, you have never seen The Wire? What the fuck is wrong with you? So, having said that, I'm going to say Boardwalk Empire is higher than Making a Murderer.
Congratulations. Just about 164. 164.
Fascinating. I would have thought it was much higher.
Wow. I know. This is why you shouldn't...
This IMDb stuff.
This is why you shouldn't quiz the general public. They're idiots. As, what's his name? Is it George Carlin? As he once said, if you think about how stupid the average person is, 50% of people are dumber than that guy. Right, number 2. Impractical Jokers. Practical Jokers.
That's in the top 250?
Yeah.
Fuck you, people.
Again, public. So is that higher or lower than 164?
I hope it's lower. Oh my god. Fuck you, people.
Yes, you are correct. Impractical Jokers 182. They're still pretty deep into the 250, but 182.
Very deeper than I would have thought they would have been 265 minimum. Also, congratulations to those guys. I wish I had their career and wish people hated us for having their career. So good for them.
Oh yeah, it's a terrible show. I can't watch it. It just annoys me. But hey, shout out to the hustle, man. Can't knock the hustle, as they say.
Yeah, never give up on the hustle, gentlemen. Thank you.
All right, number 3. You could already take it away already. Number 3 is the controversial man himself, Mr. Louis C.K. Louis, the TV show Louis. That higher or lower than 182?
This was a critically acclaimed, successful series before Louis C.K. got quote-unquote canceled. However, has time been kind to the reviews? Have people been downvoting it now because he asked a friend if he could jerk off in front of her? Which, by the way, it's nice that you asked, but also most of our friends don't want to watch us jack off in front of them. However, why aren't we better friends if you do? However, I'm going to say higher than Impractical Jokers.
Higher than 182. Louis comes in. 195. 195.
Oh, that's some.
Yeah,
public crimes aside, that show is way funnier than 192.
Yeah, sometimes a lot of some people are able to take away, like, I'm going to judge the art differently than I'm going to judge the artist, but I'm going to have a guess that this is, like you were saying, I think this is a lot of people suddenly like, that was a great show, to suddenly, fuck Louis C.K. That show was literally in the conversation of, I dare you to hate this show. Well, apparently a lot of people took you up on that there. Number 4. Number 4. It's a more modern show, not in the setting, but in time of release. Yellowstone. Is Yellowstone higher than 195 or lower than 195?
I have not heard of this series.
You've not heard of it?
Earlier this.
Oh, okay.
Until earlier this year, and then I discovered it's like on its 5th season and has like a couple spin-offs also. Yeah. I'm gonna say higher.
Higher than 195?
Higher than 195.
Whee! Yellowstone comes in at 153. 153.
Then that's the one with Costner and Harrison Ford.
I believe. Oh, yeah, I know Costner's in it. I don't know if because they all merge
Harrison
into
Ford's
one.
In a different.
Harrison Ford might be in one of the spin-offs, but I could be wrong.
Oh, he's in the spin-off?
I think, but I could be wrong. All right, you've won 3. You got 3. So let's go for a good hefty leeway. Let's go for number 5, which is the Netflix series of Daredevil.
Oh,
Marvel's Daredevil.
No longer on Netflix, now on Disney
Plus. And then a new series coming out soon. They were filming a new series, and now obviously the actors' strike might put a halt to that bad boy. But now it's under the Marvel Cinematic Universe umbrella. So looking forward to that.
Right.
Where do you think the original run comes in? Higher or lower than 153?
That first season is spectacular.
It's very good.
And then the second season's okay, and then the third season's like, oh man, that was good again. But it's just, those Netflix series got tainted, especially with Iron Fist. This is just me stalling for time. Iron Fist, not a good time on the couch. Not a good time during the Netflix and chill. In fact, dried up pussy during the Netflix and chill. Anyways,
the Punisher was very good. The Punisher was a very good one.
Punisher's all right.
I really enjoyed Punisher. Luke Cage, that was pretty good. And then I think there's
I
one
like the
more.
Luke Cage. I like Jessica Jones.
Jessica Jones, that was it.
I liked the Defenders.
They were pretty much all good except for
they
Iron
all
Fist.
suffered from. They all suffered from too many episodes, despite being a limited run. Anyway, we're higher. I'm hoping it's higher.
It's going for higher. Higher 153. Dev level comes in at 139.
You win.
4 out of 5. That's 80%.
I would not have suspected Daredevil to be in the top 250, honestly. But Impractical Jokers is there too, so there it is.
There are some shocking things in this list, but I'm not going to spoil it just in case I come back to it next week. But
I'm not going to research it. That's the beauty of our team.
All right, next up, we've been alluding to some of our pet peeves throughout the show, not provoked. That was just kawinky dinky. But now we are going to finally take some common pet peeves that people have, and we are going to rid the world of one, thanks to the segment that we like to call the Trapdoor segment. So for this, what I did a little Google search. I was like, what are some of the top pet peeves that people have? And then I looked through the list and I took the ones that resonated most with me. Obviously, I'm not the one that's making the decision, but I thought, hey, let's see how aligned me and Kush are with our little pet peeves. So I am going to give him
might Hulk out in this case.
4 different pet peeves, and he has to just basically, we kind of ranked them, but ultimately the one that's the pinnacle, that's the one that makes his blood boil the most. We're going to send it down a trapdoor and just make the world a little bit of a happier place. So your 4 options are people who FaceTime in public without headphones. Oh, fuck you. What do you feel? Number two. This one's going to be one. I'm going to see this later. I know this is going to annoy me already. People who are in a plane and they stand up out of their seats the second the plane arrives at the gate, even though they say we're not disembarking yet.
Yeah.
Fucking hate those people.
I'm going to call this landers. Yes, those. It's like, Jesus Christ, guys. We still got like another 10 minutes before they fucking.
Where are you going?
I gotta go to number 3. We'll get to all this.
Number 3. Now, I just put slow walkers. But you know those people on the sidewalk that just walk in the middle and try to take up the whole, and you're trying to get around them, and then
they veer to the left.
Oh, they always veer to the way you're going. Oh my, just get out the fucking way.
You're not trying to be rude, but god damn it, you, oh boy. Mike, you're triggering me so hard here, dude.
And this one, I don't know, see, maybe it might be a thing, maybe this is like a regional thing, I don't know, but some people do this around here. People who use LOL or LOL and OMG in normal in-person conversations.
Oh, funny.
I don't know if you've ever featured that, but if you say something and they go, oh my, OMG, LOL. You're like, what? You're not texting me right now. Just laugh. Literally laugh out loud. I will get it.
So I am guilty of that last one, but I do it ironically.
Oh, okay.
At least I like to think I do it ironically. Like, Mike Fish, LOL, you are hilarious. Your impressions are killing it right now. OMG, homeboy.
Oh, if I ever do it, I like to embellish it a bit. Like if I'm being sarcastic, I'll be like, roller coaster. That's one of my favorites.
Oh, nice. I like Rafflecopter. And then I have to do a little twirl. Rafflecopter. And then we do a twirl. So again, since I'm guilty of this, even if it is being sarcastic or ironic, LOL, OMG, guys, staying. The rest of these, dude, are quite upsetting. Just, geez, I don't know which one is the worst one here. Slow time walkers, again, that's the elderly, that's the oblivious. I think we're just stuck with those
No,
people.
the elderly, they get a pass because they're old. They're probably they may very well be walking as fast as they can. So I'm not gonna. It's the ones who, like, for me, who are maybe like on their phones, and so they're like walking, or they don't know where they're going, and then like they're walking in front of you, and then they just stop to be like, oh, what's around here?
Oh yes,
Like, especially it happens like this is why I avoid New York City now, because when I used to work in New York City, that happened all the fucking time. Because look at that building, look at that building. Fuck out of the way, get the fuck out. So
it's a problem here in San Francisco. It's also a problem in the Netherlands. Yeah, it's
look at that tulip.
The slow walkers. I think we're just stuck with the slow walkers at least. I mean, unless their cell phone is in their hand, it's literally just a product of who they are. They're just like, oh, pretty buildings. That's a shout out to my mom, who's always like, look at them all, look at the pretty building. Anyway, geez, what else do we got here? We got the plane guys, the guys who the no seatbelt sign has now just been turned off, and you are now free to walk about the cabin and pick up your bag and stand there like an asshole with your nuts hanging on someone's shoulders.
Because what I have to do is more important than anyone else on this plane, so I need to get to the front as soon as possible. Do you know what was funny? I didn't say anything.
Dude,
I didn't say anything to this guy, but there was a guy who was sitting in the row in front of me, and he did that. He just stood straight up, and he was like making this really awkward, like, because he tried to get his hand like, and it was like a really awkward, so he was like getting in people, and then like putting his ass in, like he was just making this scene to get his fucking luggage out of the overhead cabin, and then as soon as he could, he was like trying to get his way to the front. Like, oh fuck! I wish this guy was behind me, because I would have blocked him. Like, he would not be getting past me. But off he went, and then when I went to the luggage carousel, I spotted him. And my luggage came first, and I was like, "Oh, bye. You're gonna wait there." Fucking dick. I did enjoy that.
I'm unfortunate to say, I think I'm also guilty of this, but if and when I do this, I'm the guy in the very first row. Obviously not first class, but I'm the guy in the very first row. So guess what? My ass isn't in anyone's face. I'm not dangling nuts on someone's shoulder. Like, I'm out of the way. Like, once that door opens, I'm gone. All right. I think I've definitely been guilty in that situation. But like when you're in like row 34 or all the way at the end, it's like I'm gonna just hang out here in Facebook for another 10 minutes. So guess what though? This brings us to FaceTime in public. And I don't understand you cunts. I do not understand why you guys think this is okay. Earbuds or no earbuds.
May I just real quick add an addendum to this, because these are similar people. It might not be a FaceTime, but the ones who are taking a regular phone call and they have it on speaker.
Yeah, and I told that motherfucker, shut the fuck up.
Like, you're already just there. It's just all you do is just put the phone from there, and you're good. You don't have to annoy anyone.
So I see both of these cunts on the bus all the time, and when I see the person on speakerphone, I react to the conversation like I'm a part of it. They get annoyed, but I'm like, bitch, you brought us into this, okay?
Apparently, we're all in this together.
Look, we're all privy to this conversation, and no way, I cannot believe she treated him like that. Holy shit! What? But that bitch who is FaceTiming, who asked, if I am literally behind you and I have done this, I will just start making faces, because I will frame myself over her shoulder. Oh no, I wish I was doing I should probably do that. That would probably be funnier. No, I do the
you don't imitate.
I start just showing the teeth and the fangs. No, I don't get lewd with it. I think that's going to lead to a court case in Italy, which we will still be acquitted. But I don't want to be a part of that. It's just time and money and travel I don't want to take. However, FaceTimers, fuck off, for real, go to hell twice and suck all the syphilitic dicks.
Already feel it.
I hate you bitches.
Oh. The sun just feels a little bit nicer on my skin. Food tastes better. Oh, we're a little bit clear.
I'm glad I could help you.
So yeah, if you need to take a phone call or FaceTime in public, do it, but put your... Oh, no, do you know what? No, take the phone call, but put the either earpods in or take the phone call like a normal person. And, you know, sometimes it doesn't happen very often, I must admit. But if I'm in public, especially on a bus, and someone tries to FaceTime me, guess what I do? Like a civilized human being,
I'm on a bus, stupid.
I reject the thing and then text them, I'm on the bus. I'll call you
later.
later.
There you go. Thank you.
It doesn't take...
My fish. On behalf of public transit folks, thank you. Yeah, same. I might even answer the call, be like, yo, man, I cannot have this conversation right now. I'm on a bus. I can deal with this later. I don't care who's in the cast of Tough Enough. Fuck off. That was a real conversation.
JC Hush? Oh my god. I know that guy. Okay.
Actually had that situation. Anyways.
Okay, let's talk about some movies now. Let's talk about a wacky movie starring one of the guys from the Workaholics. There we go. And Pierce Brosnan, a British icon. So it can't be a bad movie, right? It's now time for this week's Kush's movie review.
Kush's movie review.
This week's Kush's movie review is The Outlaws, currently on Netflix, starring that fella from Workaholics, Pierce Brosnan, and some other people. If you are watching just a standalone version of this show, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up. Let us know what you think about the thing in the comments. Appreciate it. Kush, I saw most of this movie because it's one of those movies that you just kind of watch on a Saturday afternoon when it's raining, I'm not going to go out yet. Let's just put something on Netflix, and this came up. So I might have some opinions on it, but it's your segment, it's your show. Let the people know what your thoughts on The Outlaws.
Well, so you said you only saw part of this movie. I would love to know what interrupted you, what captured your attention better. What did you just get a little rumbling in your tummy? Did the dog need to go out for a walk? Did the wife go, honey, should I wear the blue dress or the yellow dress? And then the rest of the day was just killed because, this is not a good movie. So I would love to know what captured your attention and distracted you the rest of the day. Because I sat through the whole thing.
Probably a squirrel. I don't know.
Oh shit! There you go. I
saw the initial opening part of it, and then I missed
a lot.
And then I came back in when the in-laws were being introduced, and then I kind of maybe went out for a cigarette, let the dog out. So I kind of I came in and out.
So you never even pause the thing. You just let it play, bitch. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
And then I watched the ending bit.
So this is The Outlaws. It is it's actually a hard R, and it is 95 minutes. I think it's actually time-wise, I think it's economic. I think it's as tight as it could be. We normally say take out 10 minutes, take out 20 minutes. In some cases, take out a whole hour. I think they literally made this movie as tight as they could be, not enjoyable. It is directed by a man named Tyler Spindle. What else has he done? A couple other Netflix movies or comedy specials. He's done one other project for Happy Madison Studios, which is what this is. That's the Adam Sandler film studio. By the way, the difference between an Adam Sandler movie starring Adam Sandler and an Adam Sandler movie not starring Adam Sandler is about $45 million, apparently, because this movie was cheap as fuck. They made it if they didn't make it on a little tiny backlot, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. They made it in the very smallest town they could possibly find, I'm guessing in Vancouver. but we didn't double check that. But this is a very small story in a very small town, and it just doesn't work. I didn't know this was a thing until 3 days before a review. In a perfect world, had we not been talking about travel and blah blah blah, we would be either reviewing Barbie or the Oppenheimer movie today. But we're doing a special pre-record, so we're doing this film. This does start the guy from Workaholics. That's Adam Devine. Only one of his other thirds is in this. I believe this the guy Blake, the dude with the curly wild hair. He's from Sacramento, so it was nice to see him. But he is such a non-character and shoehorned into this 95-minute odyssey where he's like, "Why are you here? You don't need to be here. Oh, you're the funny EMT
you're the
guy
wacky guy
who does all the drugs. You're the wacky guy who does all the drugs in his ambulance. Okay, no, you're dumb." This also stars Nina Dobrev. I don't know if you're familiar with her. I've only seen one movie with her, and that was like the Triple X sequel reboot. She is incredibly funny in that. She might be the best character in that movie. She is not a character in this. She's just girlfriend, fiance, female character. Her parents, however, is Mr. Pierce Brosnan, one of my favorite James Bonds. Yes, I said it. And then the very beautiful Ellen Barkin, who is 69 years old. Okay.
Nice.
A lot of folks are like, when they're talking about what senior citizen would you bang, a lot of folks are saying Helen Mirren. I'm like, give me Ellen Barkin every day, dude. No. By the way, recommending an Ellen Barkin movie, go back to 1995. She did a spy movie with Lawrence Fishburne. There's like a really graphic sex scene in it. Like, there's no penetration or nothing, but you're like, damn, can they show this to us on video in 1995? I'm only 15, but ooh, this feels intimate. Ooh,
is that one of those movies with Lawrence Fishburne where you're like, because obviously he kind of blew up with The Matrix and so on and so forth. It's one of those movies where
this is before The Matrix.
Yes, this is one. So it's one of his movies where he actually looks young, but because you have the picture of him as Morpheus, when you see him young, you're like, what? Who is that? He looks so different when he's obviously because he's younger, but he just like, what the fuck is that?
You should see Boys in the Hood then, because he actually looks older in that than he does in The Matrix, and he was significantly younger. And that's the movie that did put him on the map. That came out 3 years before the movie I just recommended. However, so Netflix, you're not really good about advertising your movies. Again, this is one of those things where I was just like, let's look for something on Netflix. And then this commercial came up and I was like, well, I like Pierce Brosnan. I clearly like Ellen Barkin. Adam Devine, he's a funny dude. So it's 95 minutes. We're going to put this on. And the commercial led me to believe that Pierce Brosnan and Ellen Barkin were spies, but no, apparently they're bank thieves. They're very good bank thieves, but they're bank thieves, and for some reason, daughter Nina Dobrev doesn't know that. Nothing makes sense. Again, it's an Adam Sandler film, but because Adam Sandler is not in it, it's $40 million cheaper. And yeah, this movie is not fun. Lil Del Howery, isn't it?
Lil Ray Howery.
We need to figure out your name better. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
But he stars as wacky security guy who's friends with the lead star. People know him from the movie The Free Guy. What did he play in The Free Guy? Oh, he played wacky security guy at a bank who's a friend of the lead. Like, come on, guys.
You know what else he was in? He was in Get Out as wacky TSA agent who's friends with the lead guy.
Like, I guess he just has one.
Motherfucker, they're going to eat your asshole. Apparently, Little Rel has a type, I guess. So,
do you know who I was very happy to see in this movie? And I didn't know who. Michael Rooker.
Oh, Michael Rooker. Yeah,
I did not expect to see him.
I'm not a fan of Michael Rooker. He's at least better than Ron Perlman. But I'm not a fan
his
of Michael
character
Rooker.
wasn't that great, and but I was just like, oh my god, I love that guy.
Michael Rooker plays a weird character since you brought him up, where it feels like he's playing a private investigator, but he's supposed to be an FBI agent, but he's also like got a straw hat on and might as well be smoking a corn cob pipe. And
He looks like
now
he
see
worked.
here, see here.
He looked like he worked in the police department with Dick Tracy.
That's a very good callback.
Why was he wearing that?
It's a weird character choice, and I bet they let him make that choice, and I bet they let him do the wardrobe because, again, this movie was $45 million cheaper than a regular Adam Sandler film. So I sincerely wish I could tell everybody this was a funny movie. It's not. Pierce Brosnan, always charming. You enjoy his work. Ellen Barkin, like I said, that bitch is beautiful. Adam Devine, playing an Adam Devine character. He's a spineless wimp who gets some gusto because we got to save the day and it's the movie I'm starring in. And then Nina Dobrev is barely there, which is weird because she's actually she's got comedic talent and is sorely and criminally underused here. Anyways, The Outlaws, rated R, 95 minutes, written by two dudes who we neglected and will not bring up anymore. It's a 2 out of 5. Go find a way to see Bad Company from 1995 and watch Larry Fishburne and Ellen Barkin. Fuck.
The one good thing about this movie, which I did
it's actually
get,
probably very disappointing.
So this movie it had its funny moments, but it was one of those like
sure.
Well, it was like mostly those moments where you're kind of just watching it, and then you just kind of like acknowledge, like, oh, that was funny. It doesn't make you laugh. It's just like, oh, that was funny. But the
There's a scene where Adam Devine is on his hands and knees, and I forget what the context of is.
Or was he doing CPR in the bank?
What? No, that's later in the film. I think he's just in his kitchen. And he's like, baby, you didn't tell them about my grotesque back hair. And sure enough, in only this one scene in the movie is his shirt raised just enough, and it's a cartoonic carpet of lower back hair. Like that's never been on a man, and I'm an incredibly hairy man for everybody that did not ask. Okay, and what Adam Devine is trying to display comedically, it's just not a thing. It's just not a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have hairy hands, hairy legs, hairy feet.
A lot of dumb things.
I don't have
like
any
that.
hair on my back.
No hair on your back. You're lucky.
I also don't have much hair on my chest either, so I'm a less of a man. But one line that did get me was when I can't remember the exact scene, but then like the wife is like, "Oh, he kind of looks like James Bond," and Pierce Brosnan goes, "Which one?" And she goes, "Oh, the fifth one, whatever." And he's like, "Oh, that's the best one." With that man, he's talking about himself. That was funny. Break the fourth wall.
Yeah, that was
cute.
That was a fun callback or a fun little moment for the audience. Yeah. Also, crazy to think he was the fifth James Bond. That means we've had.
I think it's one of those.
Now.
I think let me try to pull this up real quick.
So I think there was Sean Connery.
It was technically
we got Roger Moore, we got Timothy Dalton, we got Pierce Brosnan, we got Daniel Craig. But then there's this Woody Allen movie that may or may not count.
Yeah, that's that technically David Niven, that's his name. Technically, he was the second person to play James Bond, but it's kind of like that doesn't count. So it's like,
and then there's the one guy who only played James Bond, Majesty's Secret Service.
George Lazenby.
That dude actually has a fascinating movie about his experience playing James Bond. It's not necessarily a biopic, but it's just like, yeah, I just fucked around in New Zealand. I smoked a lot of weed, drank a lot of beer, fucked a lot of bitches. And then someone was like, "You want to be James Bond?" I was like, "Sure, why not?" And then they presented me with a contract. It literally said slave contract. It said what I can eat, what I have to wear, how I have to look. And I was like, fuck all this. I don't care if I ever play James Bond again. I've already done the movie. I don't need to sign this stupid contract. And fantastic film. Forget what it's called, but George Lazenby's James Bond biopic. Anyways.
All right. But yeah, Pierce Brosnan's my favorite. Just simply
Same.
because that was my first one really growing up, and then also the GoldenEye video game. Classic.
The GoldenEye video game is crazy. So saw GoldenEye in the theaters.
And a song, Tina
then a
Turner.
few years
GoldenEye, baby.
few years later, N64 dropped the GoldenEye video game. And then me and my friends in high school played it so goddamn much that eventually, I think 2 or 3 James Bond movies had come out since then. And then one day, GoldenEye was on like USA or TNT or whatever basic cable edited network. And I just watching this was like, they made this movie so accurate to the video game. And I was like, oh no, that's the wrong order. That's the wrong order. Oh shit. Like, because like we were in the laboratory at one point. It was like, damn, they got this thing 1 for 1. Like, look at that, dude. Anyway, that's how dope the GoldenEye video game was. However, having said that, I'm a Perfect Dark fan. I think Perfect Dark is better.
I'm not going to judge. But yeah, I think the fact that we have gone off on a tangent talking about James Bond for the last 5 minutes tells you all you need to know about this movie.
2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. Should actually probably be less. But yeah, it's not a good movie.
The beauty of it is on Netflix. So it's one of those, like, I would never go out of my way. Like if someone's like, oh my God, I want a movie to watch. What's a really good movie? I'm never going to suggest this. But if someone like just texts me like, oh, I'm kind of bored, just hanging out. I've got like 2 hours to kill. Should I watch The Outlaws? I'm not going to deter him. I'm just if you just stick it on, yeah, it's not bad.
No. Go watch a Bill Burr special. Go watch Burt Kreischer. Go watch a Fortune Femster whose name I hate. But go watch her. Don't watch this. But
no, I'm not.
Netflix
No, if someone
has
asks
a
me,
cacophony of comedy specials that are way better than this.
There you go. 2 out of 5. If you want, check it out.
You were going to say something. I'm going to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Will I? Oh, I was just going to say, I'm too. If someone texts me and say, "Hey, should I watch this movie to kill a couple of hours?" I'm not going to
show them this review.
No, well, yeah, you should watch an episode of Waffle instead. No, I'm not going to dive into that. Well, what kind of movies do you like? What are you in the mood for? So I'm just going to be like, yeah, fuck it, stick it on. I'm a very lazy friend. But there you go. Check that. Like if you want to, 2 out of 5. Let's end the show as we always do, giving everyone the little warms and fuzzies feelings in this week's feel-good story of the week.
It's the coolest fucking story I've ever heard in my entire life. That's insane. Can I hear it again?
This week's feel-good story comes to us from Knoxville. Now, I'm going to assume this is not. It doesn't actually say, but I'm going to assume it's Knoxville, Tennessee. But knowing America, there might be like 16 different Knoxvilles. So I apologize if this is not it. But this story revolves around a fella called Otavius Harris, or OT for short, as he likes to be called. So I'll do that.
Okay.
So he participated in Knoxville's Summer in the City intern program when he was 18 years old, and was assigned to be an intern at the local fire department. Okay. So he met up with Kevin Faddis, who was the assistant chief, and he was going to be his like little mentor for the internship. So as they're chatting away, getting to know each other and things like that, Faddis asked Harris, where'd you live? Where did you come from? And he mentioned the street that he grew up on. And the fire officer said, I know that street. During an emergency situation, I delivered a baby there. And OT was like, my mum remembered telling me that a first responder helped give birth to me. Full circle happenstance that OT was linked up for his mentor at the fire department by the man who birthed him in an emergency situation.
Wow.
What the fuck?
Small world.
Yeah,
Small world,
OT,
small town.
OT was born January 1st, 2005. And Kevin Faddis told the Washington Post that he still remembers holding Harris in his arms and hearing his first cry. Quote, with jobs like ours, you don't get a lot of time to relish the moment, he said. You're always off to the next call. It's a real treat for us to get to know the young man that we helped bring into this world 18 years ago. So that's crazy, right? What the happenstance circumstances? So now, imagine, I doubt I'm going to be able to meet the person now, 37 years on, but it would be pretty cool getting to know the person that yanked you out of your mother. That's pretty interesting. Except to be like, yeah, don't go into too graphic details. Don't describe my mother's vagina, please. Just keep that to yourself.
It looked like an avocado. That's a positive or a negative. I'll let you decide.
Depends if you like avocados in your salad.
Fair enough.
I love munching on avocados. But there you go. Wonderful stuff. Shout out to OT and shout out to Kevin Faddis of the Knoxville Fire Department.
Shout out to avocados.
Shout out to yummy, tasty, firm but not too firm avocados, which we learned last week from Lathan that they're fruits. Was it fruits not vegetables or vegetables not fruit? I can't remember now. We were supposed to learn. Sorry, Lathan, I apologize. I didn't.
I black out during this show.
Information. But there you go. Thanks. Yeah, that brings a wrap up to episode 108. Don't forget, of course, if you're not already doing so, make sure you follow us on all the social medias at WaffleboxPod on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads. You can follow me at
we're on the Threads.
We are on Threads. You can follow him, Kush_Hayes. He also does podcasts. Has anyone got anything new coming up on the Microdose or the Bosnet family?
Last week we were part of a Not a Strong Start podcast.
Oh, this is the third week you've pimped this one now, Kush. Come on, do something new for the people.
Yeah. That's all I got then. It's a fun episode. You'll check it out.
If you haven't checked it out.
We got the audio edition on the Microdose. We got the video edition on Not a Strong Start's channel. Go check out either one.
Kush looks very dapper dressed in his Indiana Jones outfit, I must say. Also, just a quick fun little announcement. Starting August, so from next episode, we are kind of rehashing our little Patreon, our extrawaffle.com. For $2 per month, if you do want to support us, I'd be very grateful. And for that, because we typically record these episodes early, so why not bring the best part of Wednesday to Tuesday? So if you want to hear or watch Waffle Box on a Tuesday, a day earlier than the general public, go to extrawaffle.com and you can sign up there. Plus, we're gonna do some bonus content eventually and things like that. And you're gonna get shout outs and things like that. Other ways you want to support us, you can go to wafflemerch.com, buy yourself a t-shirt and other stuff like that, or just tell your friends, tell your families to check out the show. Either way, we appreciate you. Lathan, do you want to say goodnight to the wonderful people?
Good night, everyone. It's been a pleasure as always. Now I'm off to dry hump the shit out of my AC unit. Toodaloo!
Wonderful stuff. Until then, see you next time. Take care of yourselves and each other.
That's all, folks.